shittest car ever.
Bro, I swear I cannot make this up. Bro, I just bought the car today, fool.
On today's episode of Automakers Pointlessly Reinventing Things, drive modes.
Nothing beats a jet holiday.
The modern car market has this trick where everything looks better than it's ever been. The screens are bigger, the features are longer, the prices are higher, and somehow the cars are worse. Not worse looking, worse where it actually matters, the part where they're supposed to last.
My 2025 Mazda CX-90 has been in the service department for the past 2 weeks, and when I called to get an update today, they told me it could be there for the next 5 months. So let's just hop into it really quick. 5 months ago, I bought a Mazda CX-90 with everything included, and it was a hybrid plug-in model. 2 days into having the car, I had to bring it back to them because it was not charging. 4 months in, I had to bring it back because it was leaking fluid. And most recently, I had to bring it in at 5 months and it's needing a new transmission. They're telling me that my transmission is on back order until the end of April, which would definitely classify this car as a lemon. They gave me a non-comparable vehicle as a loaner. And anytime that I reach out to anyone from corporate or certain parts of the dealership, I am ignored or given no answer.
Tell me a car manufacturer has an engine problem without telling me that a car manufacturer has an engine problem. I'll go first. These are all engines in these crates. But wait, there's more. We're coming around to it. Oh, here's some more. Stack 3 high. Let's go. But is that it? Nope, not even close. Look at all these. Look at all these. These are all engines that are bad, that have been replaced, waiting to go back. But can you guess what manufacturer it is?
Nothing beats a jet holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Truck right here, you guys, never ceases to amaze me. This is 5.7 V8 2010 Tundra. Underneath, I'm doing an oil change. That's all this thing ever comes in for is maintenance. I think I put a water pump on it and this radiator like 3.5 years ago at 315,000 miles. It's got 353,000 miles on it. Virtually no oil leaks. Cam towers are starting to leak a little bit if you know anything about these 5.7s. But you go underneath, everything's dry, nothing's loose. It's, what is Toyota doing? You know where the state of their Tundras is right now, and it's like, why did you get rid of this engine? Why? 350.
If you bought a new car these days, I'm telling you it's insane. The manufacturers are recommending 7,500 to 10,000 miles on an oil change. Why are they doing it? Because they don't care if that vehicle lasts you 300,000 miles. You could do an oil change every 7,500 to 10,000 miles all you want, but don't expect your car to be in great shape down the road. I see so many people take a vehicle that's paid off because they don't maintain it well, and once it's paid off, then they start having repairs, and then they're like, oh, I don't want this, so they go buy another vehicle, and they just cost themselves so much money.
Nope, it's every 5,000 miles for us. Someone else said, I have a Kia Soul, every 3,500 full synthetic, and it still eats oil. Another one, very few people will keep their car for 300,000 miles. So, by replacing the oil more often than recommended, all you are doing is spending money for the next guy. I replace my vehicles at about 80,000 and treat it like a rental. And honestly, that's not even wrong. That's just the math of giving up. When the cars are built to be disposable, eventually the owners start treating them that way. And the manufacturers are fine with that. They prefer it. And one comment with 209 likes put the whole thing in perspective. 60 years ago, they thought we would have flying cars. Flash forward 60 years later, and we wish we had our 60-year-old cars back. 2 sentences. And it says more than most articles written about the auto industry this year.
Completely new Porsche interior with the new Cayenne here with a so-called flow screen, a curved screen. You can see it right here when I scroll around in the map here, for example. It's also visible when I, for example, go to a Spotify playlist. Then you can check it out here, how it flows from the bottom to the top. Very interesting. Tell me in the comments what you think about this solution.
You look stupid when you tell people that their car is not reliable. you can't afford to fix this. That does not mean it's unreliable. That means that you cannot afford to fix it when it breaks. If you're looking for a supercar that's reliable, none of them are reliable. They all are expensive to fix. It just makes you look ignorant. Stop it.
$3,500. That's how much I just spent on tires for my car. $3,500. Are you kidding me? I found out a few months ago I needed new tires because I had like no tread left on my tires, and I was like, I just got this car in November. How do I need new tires? It's like, well, it's like a really heavy car. A really heavy car that needs tires every 6 months? Are you kidding me?
Their clip on screen just talking about BMWs, my seemingly perfect BMW X3 that cost me $22,500 to repair in under 2 years. This is no joke.
The most frustrating thing about this Audi Q6 is over here. They have this little panel of capacitive buttons to do everything. But what kills me the most is not this panel, as dumb as I think it is. It is this door handle piece, because there is a blank switch here, which on the passenger side is a lock-unlock button. But because on the driver's side, the lock-unlock is down here, you get a blank panel. How? This is everything that's wrong with car design. You get this thing that nobody wanted, and as a result of that, every single one of these has this blank switch. There's no option that fills this in. They couldn't have bothered to just make a different piece to go here so that you wouldn't have to look at this. But every single one of these cars, they're like 70 grand, and you get this blank, scratchy piece of plastic.
My 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander Platinum is a lemon, and Toyota is ghosting me. We countered, and now radio silence. After being at the dealer for over a month, Toyota couldn't figure out what was wrong with my car and replaced the entire engine at 27,000 miles. We submitted a claim to Toyota and they offered to buy it back, but that offer was a lowball. It would have put us in the hole $10,000. We came back with a counter, and since then, radio silence.
You may need to get a lawyer for Toyota. Toyota is very difficult when you're pursuing a lemon law with them. So this isn't even new. This is a known pattern. Toyota doesn't just fail on the car, they make the process of complaining about it exhausting enough that people quit. Another one said, Ford wouldn't return my phone calls. Getting a lawyer was the best thing I did. Different brand, same playbook. Ignore them until they go away or lawyer up. That's the customer service model across the entire industry now. Silence is the strategy. Someone else said, I knew we time shifted when you couldn't trust Toyotas anymore a few years ago. 2024 was the first year the Grand Highlander came out. Never buy a brand new build type. They don't have the kinks worked out. Wait a year or two. And that's real. First model year vehicles are basically public beta tests. You're paying full price to be the quality control department. Except nobody tells you that on the lot.
What in the actual Ford? I sell these things for a living. And this is a 2025 F-150. It's an XL two-wheel drive, like work truck, like basic work truck. It doesn't get any more basic than this one. Look at this. $39,345. How the f am I supposed to sell these things, Ford? 40 grand for a base model two-wheel drive truck? Like, you're making it hard on me.
We're here at the Central Florida Auto Show with the guys. Buddy, let me tell you, I'm looking at these prices, and if y'all not shopping with us, I don't know what you guys are doing. They want 71 grand for this brand new Grand Cherokee. But bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's like a $45,000 car, maybe, if that.
The mileage blocker epidemic has gotten so out of hand that people are now rolling back not just supercars, but your everyday sedan. This G80 M3 just got busted in a wholesale car group on Facebook for having only 98 miles. The seller was trying to get about 95 grand out of it, and people became very suspicious when the photos were taken in different locations. On top of the fact that many people in the comments were saying that this guy is a known scammer, I think this is a closed case. This case specifically kind of blows my mind because this car is pretty much brand new. How many miles could you have possibly put on it in that time? Even with 5,000 to 10,000 miles, what is it worth? Like $5,000 less? You're willing to risk a felony for 5 grand? I mean, it quote unquote makes sense on cars like a Huracan or an Urus or, you know, an Aventador where they're running out the mileage like 40,000. But the risk here just doesn't seem worth the reward. Like, if you're going to do this, at least put 500 miles. Don't put 98.
You know what? If the industry wants 50-year house loans and 15-year car loans and 5-year cell phone loans, then I think we need a law that says that every manufacturer is responsible for that product working and lasting 100% for the entire length of the finance period. If you finance your house for 50 years, everything in that house has to work for 50 years, appliances included, and that means the builder is responsible for the cost. If it doesn't work, their problem, they have to fix it. They get no recourse, no option out. Cell phones are financed for 5 years. That cell phone has to function at 100% for the whole 5 years. If it doesn't work, if it's a manufacturer defect, if it breaks, they have to replace it. Their cost, no recourse out of it. And then cars. If you have to finance a car for 15 years, then the manufacturer of that car has to replace everything on it for the first 15 years. I'm talking bumper to bumper coverage. Everything in that some gun has to be covered, because if we're financing things for 15 years, they should have to work for the entire length of the finance period.
Everybody seems to want the Yukon Denali, but would you pay $99,907 for one? This is a 2025 GMC Yukon Denali XL. It has a starting price of $84,200, but then it has all of these add-ons, which come out to $10,620 added, plus the $2,595 destination fee. But this dealership also adds even more upgrades, which brings the total price to $99,907.
The problem I see is that people are stupid enough to keep buying these vehicles. Don't buy them, and the manufacturers might get the hint. $100,000 for a pickup truck? And someone commented, "It's funny how so many people say it's overpriced, and yet someone is always buying them, LOL. That's the trap. Everyone agrees the prices are insane, and someone still signs the paper every single time. The outrage never reaches the sales floor. No way, this is a German car. Total crap. And at this price range, that comparison is inevitable. You're in German luxury territory and delivering American truck interior. The price says competitor. The materials say otherwise." And one more with 949 likes. Capacitive buttons should be banned. Almost 1,000 people agreeing on a single design choice.
Bro, I swear I cannot make this up. Bro, I just bought the car today, fool. Like, I can't make this shit up, bro. I cannot win for fucking losing. I don't give a fuck what I do. Like, that's crazy.
Technology gets newer, I think they're actually going to get worse. This Mach-E does not have a door handle. This is a door handle, right? You pull on it, the door opens. This has a push button. Door opens. I have one problem with that. It snowed a little bit last night. Probably 1 or 2 inches. So my avalanche is here outside, right? So the Mach-E would have a push button somewhere around here. You're going to have to find the push button, right? Instead of just pulling the door open, right? Wow, that actually worked. So the push button would be somewhere around there.
This is the shittest car ever. Show me the wheel. Look, this car is the shittest car ever invented, with this freaking thing in the way they can't even put a seatbelt on. Stupid.
This fancy screen right here is $3,000. The reason this lady wants to replace it is because her kid scratched it all up right here. This is how the whole screen comes out. It's basically like a mini TV. Like I said, it's about $3,000 just for this screen alone. And on top of that, we have to also program it. You can't just swap it over. Here we are trying to program this thing for a cluster replacement. And basically what this does is move the odometer settings onto the...
Message is for Range Rover and Range Rover only. Less than a year ago, I bought this vehicle, okay? This 2025 Range Rover Autobiography. Within the past year, less than year, I have taken this car to the dealership for the same exact issue 4 times. Issue being, while I'm driving, okay, the vehicle literally will stop driving while I'm driving. It doesn't matter where I'm at. It has happened to me on the expressway twice. It has happened to me when I've been driving on the street. That is extremely dangerous because someone could literally run into the back of me and I lose.
On today's episode of Automakers Pointlessly Reinventing Things, drive modes. In this new BMW, they don't call it drive modes, they call it my modes. And if that wasn't enough, some of the names are kind of silly, efficient, expressive, relax, digital art, silent. And yes, what you're seeing is correct. You have to press a button and then press the infotainment system to change the drive mode. And you have to do that every single time you want to change the drive mode. This is just idiotic. We should go back to keep it simple, stupid.
The manufacturers figured out something a long time ago. They don't need to build cars that last. They need to build cars that last long enough. Long enough to get past the warranty. Long enough to get past the loan. long enough that when it breaks, it feels like your fault. Like you should have changed the oil sooner, like you should have bought the extended warranty, like you should have known better. The blame always shifts to the buyer, always. And the pricing is the part that should make everyone angry, but it doesn't, because the pricing has been normalized. A $100,000 truck doesn't shock people anymore. It's aspirational. It's a goal. People are financing vehicles for 7-8 years just to make the monthly payment look survivable. And nobody talks about what that car's worth in year 4 of that loan, because the answer is depressing. You're underwater before the new car smell is gone. The Toyota situation is maybe the most telling one, because Toyota was supposed to be different. That was the entire reason people paid the Toyota premium, not for luxury, not for features, for peace of mind. The Camry that runs forever. The Corolla you hand down to your kid. That was real. That was earned over decades. And now they're replacing engines at 27,000 miles and lowballing the buyback like they're trying to lose the customer on purpose. When Toyota starts acting like everyone else, there is no safe choice anymore. There's just varying degrees of risk with different logos on the hood. And the part nobody wants to hear is that this isn't going to fix itself. The manufacturers aren't going to wake up one day and decide to build better cars at lower prices out of the goodness of their hearts. They're publicly traded companies. They answer to shareholders, not to the guy in the service lane. The only language they understand is sales numbers. And as long as people keep financing $100,000 trucks at 84 months because the payment is only $1,400 a month, nothing changes. The prices stay up, the quality stays down, and the warranty stays just short enough that you're the one holding the bill when it breaks. The people in these comments get it. They see the pattern. They're frustrated, but frustration without action is just venting. And the auto industry has survived on venting for years. People complain online, share the horror stories like the comments, and then walk into a dealership the following weekend because they need a car and there's a Memorial Day sale. That's the cycle. And until the cycle breaks, the cars won't get better, they'll just get more expensive.